Yo, Longhairs, El Rubio here. You've seen Viking braids, you want Viking braids, you do not know how to tie Viking braids, but you're about to learn. Now, while they are badass, you don't have to know how to tie Viking braids, but there are a few things every guy with long hair needs to know, like how to tie it up and shampoo properly, and some general hair care and maintenance. We cover these fundamentals in quick tips, a collection of basic hair knowledge for guys with long hair, which you can access at the link in the description below. Now, it's time to gear up for battle.
Let's kick it off with the tools of the trade. I've got the Continental detangling paddle brush, a wide tooth comb, hair balm, 2 hair clips, some tiny elastic hair ties, the Old Norse thick headband, and of course, the Vikings hair ties for guys. I'm just going to get my hair in order because I'm going to separate it into multiple sections. Starting with the top, I'm going to take my thumbs straight from my hairline to the crown of my head and get a nice top section. I'm going to comb out the sides to make sure I have a nice clean line. Once I have that top section separated, I'm going to get it out of the road for now by twisting it up. If this is unfamiliar to you, check out How to Tie a Man Bun without calling it that. I'm going to gently wrap the twist around itself, taking care not to squeeze it too tight. Get my trusty hair clip and secure it on top. Next up, I'm going to focus on the left section, and I'm going to tie a French braid on the side of my head. I'm going to start by getting that section all by itself, combing it out to make sure I got a nice clean area, and tucking the extra hair around the back of my neck. If you're unfamiliar with the French braid, revisit How to Tie a French Braid for Men. We like to call it the aperitif. Throughout this process, I'm going to be applying hair balm to the tips of my fingers. It's going to help this braid last and stay nice and tight through battle. With any French braid, I'm going to take just the front part of the section that I'm braiding. I'm going to get some nice separation here, and I'm going to start my French braid. It's a little tricky because those strands are really small, but you start with those first 3 strands, and then you'll gradually grab just a little bit more hair each time you fold another strand over. And you don't want to go much further than the back of the ear because you want the braid to end at this point, leaving yourself a nice section in the rear. Once I've pulled enough hair to about the back of my ear, I'll continue the rest of this braid and I'll cinch it off with a tiny elastic. Whew! Making gains. On to the right side where I'm going to tie another French braid. Get some nice separation, pull the extra hair from the back around my shoulder, grab the front part of this section I'm going to be braiding, split it into 3 strands, and start my French braid. As I gather more hair into this braid, I don't want to go any further back than the back of my ear. Again, I want that braid to finish, leaving me with some excess hair in the rear. Once I pulled all the hair from this section into the braid, I'll finish off the braid just like normal and cinch it off with a tiny tie. Got 2 French braids locked. Next up, we've got the back. You can see how I've left a nice clean section in the back here. And this is just going to be standard hair braiding 101. We call it the rope. And again, if you're unfamiliar, revisit How to Braid Your Hair for Guys. I'm going to get my hair into 3 nice equal sections. And again, I'm dipping into the hair balm here and there because I want it to keep this braid nice and tight. And I'm going to go through standard 1 over 1 over process until my arms are aching. And I'm going to pivot around to the front. And once you get here, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Gonna cinch her off with a tiny tie. Three braids down and the hardest part is done. Let's take it to the top. I've got a nice clean section remaining on the top, and I'm going to do a final French braid. Again, we're going to take the very front part of that top section. Make sure we got everything all squared away. I'm going to get my 3 strands. Do my first 2 times over, and then start gradually adding hair into the braid all the way back to the end of the top section. Once all the hair is in the braid, just keep it going. Flip it around to the side. A little fancy finger work. And we're getting close. Let's cinch her down one more time. Could have gotten a couple more turns. Sure. Guys, it took like 45 minutes, okay? This is all I got. Time for the Vikings. Wrist up. From here, you have a few options. I am going to tie the 2 center braids from the top section and the back section together. Any number of variations are possible here, but this is what I'm going with. Last step. I'm going to take the 2 side braids and twist the 2 center braids therein. As with any braid, takes a little dexterity here. Let's get a solid rotation. I'm trying to keep the spacing relatively consistent. Get them wrapped up. Then I'm going to take it to the side, grab another Viking, and bind the cords together at the end, making one complete unit. And you are ready for battle. That is how you tie a Viking braid. And if that seems a little tricky, keep in mind most Vikings did not tie their own braids, but now you know how to. Until next time, boys, we will see you on the battlefield. See you!